I was there in prison. Oh, like, present as in still in there living in there when the whole M prank all happened. And I was like, you realize that the whole world is like that's bad because like they're all braggy about it. I'm like, oh, and I'm like, hey, you realize what the F you just did? Like, are you serious? That makes you look like. And then the mask changed instantly, and it was like, yeah, but on this and whatever that, right? And then the PI lady was like, hey, try to tell her the same thing. Try to tell them both. And they didn't listen to us, so. And so apparently they were warned prior to doing it by others around them. Did it anyway. We're a little bit ha-ha about it until they remembered, oh wait, we're dealing with the stick up the butt neighbor, and, oh yeah, mask time. But either way, and there's also a partner, and I know it was. In the in Michelle's thing, she's talking about how the sisters and all that stuff, right? And for me, that was the moment. It was one of the very few things that's in line, and it popped up almost immediately. And I knew enough about Utah to know that whoever was playing it wasn't just a troll post, it wasn't just anything. Uh, and literally, I mean that. Really didn't touch the phone during that period, didn't gonna lie, but every time you did, because by this time, most of the neighbors were part of at least one of the groups, which is one of the bigger summer groups, and all this would pop up. But algorithms, I guess, were, heard us talking on our phones or random, or, I mean, literally, you could open the phone, boom, right there it was. And so I happened to see, or it may have been a neighbor, but I'm pretty sure I opened the phone that time, and it was just there. But it could have been a neighbor telling me about it, but I don't think so. I think later on asked me if I'd seen it. Either way, when that post was first put up, I was like, there's one. If I had just had that just a little earlier, man, than the 15th. But I knew enough not to doubt it when it came out. I knew there weren't one. But Michelle touches on that, and not no pun or no jokes intended or anything, because y'all know me better. I don't mean it like that. It's no joke to me, but sometimes wording, can be misconstrued or whatever. But Michelle was touching on a topic this morning or whatever, but it was about the past and the Utah stuff and the essay stuff, right? And the thing is that she's talking about like, oh well, manipulators isn't there, so these guys had to believe that it was all the sister and Sarah. But that's the thing. The night that Dee took me out to get groceries and dinner because I knew my car was not coming off the hill without dying because it had poured rain and I hadn't expected it, and I was packing still, and I just needed dinner. Oh my god, y'all, it was so bad. I was having to push so hard just to try to get. Anyway, so Any of y'all followed, But anyway, so we go out to get the food and this other groceries and whatnot, and I buy them food and give them some cash, etc. And then, we out, come back into Ben Hill. Separate ways. I go home. Um, but on the drive, Dawn turns to me and is like, yeah, the thing was, I don't even think that was the first time or the one. I don't even think it was the first time it was mentioned between us because I kept mentioning, I was like, your sister's somewhere in here. And I'm pretty sure before that was like that post. Like, I didn't doubt him. Whatever, and I wasn't really a response. But that night, I wasn't saying a word. He just turns to me and he's like, oh yeah, definitely did that. And I thought, he said sister, not necessarily sisters. But, because the rest of the story went for him, and because for a little bit he was zoned out watching himself on an interview thing on YouTube. And then I'm turned to in like an afterthought way a little while later, and he's like, but my dad, my dad was like, well, she did that to me too, and she was always trying to sleep with us, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and so dad agreed she was nothing but this and nothing but that, and because, whatever, but like dad was involved too, right? And not just that dad was like, believe Dawn over, you know. And so who knows what holds true, whether that's the story that he gives out to justify it to himself, right? Or others be like, no, see, I have a witness and back up, blah, blah. Or if it's apples don't fall from the tree. But because that man is off limits, because Alzheimer's exists, and such, who the hell really knows what the truth is? You know? Who really knows? And I know that when others have mentioned that, I know that the entire family takes issue with it. And look, I ain't trying to attack nobody, I ain't trying to insinuate nothing. I'm just saying that either Dawn said that as a witness backup, oh well, dad's it. But to me, that's weird. Like, why would you put your dad out there and be like, yeah, my dad says she was trying as a little one